Greetings YouTube. Today we're taking a look at a Mossy Oak Full Tang Skinner Hunter knife. And here be the knife in question. It has a nice full leather sheath. Sorry, been a little dusty. Been sitting around waiting for me to do a review. It's got nice construction. It's not the highest quality leather in the universe, but it's definitely a step above a lot of the stuff I've seen out there for budget knives. Easily get any kind of a belt you want through there, including like a military style belt, though I don't know if you'd be carrying this kind of knife in that situation. So here we go. You can see that it's got actually a bit of a verdigris on here because it's been sitting around for, I don't know, 8 months, because I've been waiting to get this thing reviewed because it just happens. That's what happens sometimes. And I saw this and I liked the overall blade profile. I mean, it's a Skinner, so it's got a lot of belly and stuff. But I liked that it was a flat grind. And flat grinds, in my opinion, are the best grinds. I think the only kind of blade that needs a hollow grind is a straight razor. Do not think of any way, shape, or form that you need a hollow grind for anything else, particularly a Skinner, because you want to be able to get in there and not have your blade catch on stuff, and a hollow grind is a wedge. Well, whereas this is going to part the material and move it out of the way. It came out of the box with a reasonably sharp edge, not shaving sharp, but it's not far off. What do we got in here? This thing says 38206. It just says Mossy Oak, and again a little bit of verdigris on there because it's been sitting around for a while. And I will freely admit that when I got this, these corners were there and they kind of bugged me. So I knocked the corners off these sections right here, these finger grooves. The corners in my book were too sharp, and in fact, I would probably take, if I were going to carry this, I would probably take this all the way around and just put a very slight chamfer on that, because I think that's just a smidge too hot, too sharp. It's going to cause, I think it's going to cause hot spots if you're going to use this on a regular basis. Full tang construction. It is nice pins on there. They are brass, as you can see from the verdigris on it. Fake bone, not real bone, but it's still cool looking, and it has a nice weight to it. And I just love that this a huge expanse of flat ground steel, and it's just it is very, very pretty. It's not overly expensive. I think I paid like 20 bucks for this, and I believe I picked it up at Tractor Supply. I could be wrong on that. Again, I've had this around for better part of a year. But yeah, just a really well-designed, comfortable Skinner. Would make a good all-around utility camp knife in my book. I could see this being used for food prep, because of the fact that it's got a lot of edge to work with, and it's nice and broad. I wouldn't necessarily want to be using this for like fire starting on down here, though you might be able to get a fire starter on this thing up here. I wouldn't want to use that down there. I wouldn't want to be afraid to hit that edge, but you might be able to get a fire starter on this. This may be just a smidge too rounded, so you may want to sharpen that up a little if you were going to use this on a ferrocerium rod. But overall, just a nice design, simple. You know, sometimes you don't need to over-explain a plate of beans, and this is an example of that. I thought the corners were a little sharp, so I knocked those off myself. So that's something you might want to take into consideration when you're getting this. You may want to do a little bit of filing, sanding to get that to be what you want. I used a belt sander, but you could have easily done that with a hand file. So yeah, I just like the shape. I like the profile, and I thought it's nice to see a blade that wasn't hollow ground, because I just think too many of the knives are hollow ground because it's easier to hollow grind knives. It is with machines, because you can literally have two wheels at the same time and you just go and pull it through, and it's a hollow grind. It's a little bit more difficult to do a flat grind, but I like that because it's more meat in the blade. I think it parts it better. This is called a Moran edge from the guy that did blade design, because the blade parts the material as it goes through, as opposed to a wedge, which can literally go in there and stick in something. I know some people don't agree with that particular worldview. I do. I've looked at this for a long time. I've used a lot of different knives. I prefer flat grinds. So this has been the Mossy Oak Skinner hunting knife. If you're in something that's not going to break the bank, you're just starting out in the field in hunting or in bushcraft, maybe this is something you want to grab and take with you. You're not investing a lot. It's going to take very little amount of work to make it a little bit more comfortable. And I think that it might be something that would be a good starter knife for somebody who's, 13, 14, just getting into the whole scene.